each of the audience members except for the public. I'll read them. This one is from Ljubljana. You are resistant to me, as antibiotic as you are. Don't ask, but come to yourself for advice. Put out the sentry there, where you are happy. Did I say that? There where you are. Leave me alone. Lenin's Lite Parade photographed. Just stand there, and listen to the great human unspoken. 'Cause only delicious people amuse themselves. Oh, shall we go till we fall over? The poem whispers inside you, and you love 4 words only. Time already to update. Who wants this one? We'll get one each. You won't get one. For the audience.
Quite right.
No one wants this one? Was it that bad?
Come on. It was that bad.
Jesus. Trying here. This one's from Ljubljana. Are you awake? Inscribed in a story that grows and grows in an empty shopping street? No, not you, dear listener. You are always hanging around like a postcard. From my dead father, yellowish, mature, on the broken fridge. So what's for dinner? Trout with almonds? What else, you freak? Outside, leaves grow, red cheeks, waiting for that critical moment. And in the fields, shopping malls and barracks are grown. And you stare, you look down in historically worrying ways.
Yeah, I want this one.
No, not Kelly.
This one's from Bled. You know that. Don't go too far in shortcomings. No future to look back at. No future to look back at. Everything you really never wanted to experience in a cloud. Let's ride it. Let's ride it like a mummy. In the desert, under the roof of the land called forgiveness. Gloria Sanctus Kyrie. Dear you. Or a wildlife view. A didgeridoo. Oh no. It's just more nothing to regret. Straight from Bled. And this next one is also from Bled. Had a lovely time. Going tomorrow. Yeah, we're going. We were growing. We went to Duino to drink Prosecco. Because Rilke certainly thought that both dragons and kites were princesses. I don't know much about a dragon. Certainly ain't no yacht. Leaves fade. Solidified flames. A concrete slate. Its shadow side. 'Cause know you're a child of 8 or 9, hearing your father thinking your first and quite probably your best thought. The foregoing is both prayer and command. What could you ever later do with your lithium-powered semen? Days of triumph fly on of the ways of irregularity. Yeah, this is Ljubljana. This was true. To get stuck. For someone to maybe get a kick on your ID and put it to rest. Your uniqueness is sacred. But the limits aren't clear. As if ever actually looked like. I'll tell you something. True. To get stuck. In a smell. Drying outer garments in the library. Already older. But seconds are the only things that separates. But this is the year people again are discussing around the dinner plate. Trout with almonds. Well, it's 2018. All right. No postcards. You'll get them later. Ljubljana again. Sunset. Looks like it's maybe taken from the castle, I think so. The eider duck swims on through history. Who would want to be something more? Except the Brits. Always looking for the next hit. As if America wasn't enough. The eider duck knows staying close to death is convenient. Especially in countries where people get rich on change. And I don't mean lingerie. Calvin, you kleine Gut. Alternating voices blow by and quiet. As if it actually mattered what they said. What could they ever have said? It's a question at the end.
Oh, I get to.
Oh, sorry. Who didn't get one? No, hear me?
Me neither.
Me had it.
This is discrimination.
Oh, it's oh, this is the best one. Ljubljana. So this, what you call this?
Fine.
Phallic fountain. Yeah, that's one. We call it that in Norway as well. Just in Norwegian though. Phallic fountain. A flying snake is just a flying snake. Kid. To be a dam builder. To dam in them moods. Like doom. And then go home to a lifestyle of A4. I would. But could I when the iPhone chargers hang intravenously from the ceiling? Nothing green hangs around here. Just flying snakes, and they're just flying snakes. And development doesn't do itself. Neither does maturity. You'll never walk alone, nor meet a creative poet. Just these low, hanging, flying burrito brothers. Phallic. And then I will have you read from Andres iPhone. These are serious poems. It's from a book about the baboon. You know the baboon? Thought. That's the Egyptian god of writing and death and stuff like that on the threshold. Baboon. Thought. Yeah, that's the start. Thought. They come in hordes, headed for something, through the streets, squares, gardens, across the roads, stop. Up a tree to see, then under the fence, forward. The boundary to man is trash, and the rest stops by barracks and outposts, between the savannah and civilization, along the ditches, the landfills. They live close, disrespectfully, like language. Suddenly, we find ourselves in a surprising scenery. How do you say this word? It's luminously.
Sounds perfect, man.
Luminously white sandbanks to all sides, weather-worn little trees, writhing underneath big open skies. In a tree, a baboon. And when we open the water bottle for a sip, so performative to do the same thing when you do it. When we open, when we open the water bottle for a sip, it urinates shamelessly. The baboon prefers the ground to the treetops. You say, me too. When the sun and the moon shift place, the moon crowns the baboon's head, the baboon turns triumphantly and shows us its ass. The moon god moons. Later, in man's primary produce, trash, the baboon eats. Strutting cynicism body part, the ass, as it annotates the exchange rate between us. And if that ass could talk, it would say, "You'll be silenced first. I can speak, eat, and shit wherever I want. It knows no boundaries when it speaks, the baboon, but has a language that reaches its goal. When it sees us seeing it eat, there's no doubt what it hisses. You baboon." What's that Siran writes on the animals in the Tiergarten? They behave decently, except the monkeys. One notices that man is not far away. two more. This is a longer one. I would almost call it essayistic. It's about the baboon in Chicago. Taste is creativity's enemy, said Picasso, and set with the wind towards Chicago some sketches and a maquette for a public sculpture. In culinary city Chicago, the figure grew large, 50 meters and 147 tons. The model for the statue potentially the girl with the ponytail, Sylvette David. David wore her hair high because her father had seen a ballerina with a high ponytail and never forgot about it. In Gangster City, Chicago, they saw the statue as a bird, a boar, a smug Chicago landlord, an Afghan hound, or alternatively, a baboon. Some speculated whether it could be Tooth's gatekeeper colleague on the road to the underworld, jackal-headed Anubis, that was portrayed. Anubis, who weighs the hearts of the dead against feathers, while Tooth notes their good and bad deeds. In Jazz City, Chicago, they eventually played it cool, and the sculpture soon became a landmark, losing many of its names, becoming the Chicago Picasso, a favorite spot to scale for hordes of children and tourists. From time to time, proposals to exterminate baboons are promoted in the attempt to combat diseases. Even death is historically defined on the globe. Life came first. All the green, all the invisible will disappear, and the globe will continue. Without life, it will still exist. Life is slight. Thanks.